Attention passionate Dallas, Cowboys. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Dallas, COWBOYSFANS. Let's get to the news all right. Folks, buckle up because this is one of those stories that could really shake up not just our division, but the entire NFC landscape. Rumors are swirling that the Dallas Cowboys are close to pulling off a blockbuster trade for none other than Zaven Collins, the young linebacker from the Arizona Cardinals. And if this deal goes through, it could be a game changer for our defense and our Super Bowl ambitions. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Another linebacker? Really? But trust me, this isn't just about adding another name to the roster. It's about significantly boosting our defensive front, making us more versatile, aggressive, and capable of shutting down some of the league's best offenses. Sources close to the league indicate that the Cowboys are negotiating a trade that would send a first-round pick in 2026 to the Cardinals in exchange for Collins. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense when you look at the bigger picture. Arizona, sitting at a 5-12 record last season, is in full rebuild mode. Their defense was leaking points at an alarming rate, giving up an average of 30 points per game. And they're also pressed against cap space, with only around $4.2 million available. They need to prioritize rebuilding their offensive line and finding a franchise quarterback, so moving Collins makes strategic sense for them. They're looking to clear cap space and acquire future assets, much like they did when they traded away other players in the past. The fact that a deal is almost sealed, according to whispers around the league, sends a clear message. The Cowboys see enormous value in Collins, and the Cardinals are eager to retool for the future. Now let's talk about who Collins is and why he's such a perfect fit for us. This guy is just 26 years old, a hybrid linebacker with elite athleticism. Standing 6'4" and weighing 260 pounds, he's built like a modern-day linebacker should be, with blazing speed and agility. His 4.66 40-yard dash time makes him a threat in coverage and a nightmare for anyone trying to run the ball against us. Last season, he played 17 games, racking up 98 tackles, 62 of those solo along with 5 sacks, 2 interceptions, and 7 passes defended. His PFF grade for 2025 was a stellar 82.7, placing him comfortably in the top 15 linebackers in the league. His coverage grade was impressive at 84.3, and he's a strong run defender with a score of 81.1. Even more encouraging, his missed tackle rate sits at just 9%, which shows he's reliable when it counts, and his EPA per tackle was 12, meaning he's effective at limiting yardage after contact. Throughout his 5-year career, Collins has accumulated over 312 tackles, 5 sacks, 6 interceptions, and 18 passes defended. Despite dealing with some injuries, notably in 2025, when he suffered a shoulder strain in Week 5 and missed 2 games, he returned with a vengeance, recording 15 tackles in a single game in November. His versatility as a hybrid linebacker makes him comparable to what Micah Parsons brings to the table, and that's a huge reason why the Cowboys are heavily interested. If he joins our defense, it's like adding another Parsons to our front 7, which would greatly enhance our ability to stop the run and pressure the quarterback. His range, especially in terms of yards after catch allowed, just 3.2 yards per reception, boosts our hybrid schemes, giving us more options to confuse opposing offenses. The potential impact of this trade on our defense is massive. Last season, our run defense was a bit of a weakness, giving up 175 rushing yards per game, which is not good enough for a team with Super Bowl aspirations. With Collins in the lineup, projections suggest we could see an increase of about 98 tackles, along with a couple of additional interceptions. His presence would elevate our EPA against the run from -0.14 to a more dominant figure, and pairing him with Micah Parsons would create a duo capable of wreaking havoc. Our current linebacker, Overshown, graded at 78.9 by PFF, would see his coverage success rate improve by 1.6%, and together with Parsons, the tackles per game could jump by 12, coverage effectiveness up by 16%, and sack totals increase by 11. That's adding serious firepower to our front. Not only would this improve our run defense, but it would also free up our secondary to focus on defending deep shots, especially considering our opponents' yards after catch average, currently around 15 yards per play. With Collins and Parsons disrupting plays more frequently, our secondary could tighten up, forcing more turnovers and setting up our offense with better field position. Speaking of the offense, Dak Prescott stands to benefit immensely from this upgrade. Last year, Prescott's PFF grade was 83-2, and with a more formidable front seven, he'd have more time and space to operate. Our offense, which averaged around 380 yards per game in 2025, could see a boost of over 200 yards per game, thanks to improved field position and fewer turnovers. The potential for turnovers forced could rise by 5 more, and points allowed per game could drop from 24 to around 19. When you consider that a stronger defense can give your quarterback more confidence and the team more stability, it's clear that Collins could be the missing piece that pushes us over the edge. Think back to the impact of trades like Warner to the 49ers in 2025, which elevated their defense by 19%, or how Parsons himself has become a force multiplier for our entire team. If Collins can bring that same level of impact, we're looking at a team that can compete with the best in the league. Now, talking about Super Bowl odds, yeah, I know everyone loves to talk about that. Currently, the Cowboys are sitting at around plus 8,000 odds, which is roughly a 125% chance. Not very appealing, right? But that could change dramatically if we manage to land Collins. Experts believe that with his addition, our Super Bowl odds could jump to plus 2,500. That's a huge boost, especially considering how much he can elevate our defense in the playoffs. Defensive performance in the postseason is often about red zone stops, and Collins' coverage skills in tight spaces could be the X factor we need. Plus, his ability to disrupt plays in critical moments could swing close games in our favor. When you compare the boost in odds to the impact Parsons has had raising our chances from plus 1,000 to plus 400 in 2025, it's clear that a player like Collins could be the catalyst that turns our Super Bowl dreams into reality. And let's not forget the potential for big plays in the playoffs. With Collins in the middle, our defense could generate more turnovers, especially interceptions, which are often the difference makers in tight games. His ability to cover tight ends and running backs, combined with Parsons' pass-rushing prowess, could create chaos for opposing offenses, especially in the red zone, where every yard and every play counts. The Dallas Cowboys have always been about resilience and transforming adversity into strength, and adding Collins seems like the perfect move to reinforce that identity. It's about building a defense that's not just good but elite, one that can carry us deep into February. Now, of course, there are skeptics. Some question whether the trade price, a first-round pick in 2026 and the $21 million annual extension that Collins commands, is worth it. But you have to consider the alternative, staying status quo and hoping that our current linebackers develop quickly, which might not be enough to beat the best teams. Arizona's rebuild is inevitable, and the longer we wait, the more opportunities we might miss. It's a calculated risk, but one that could pay off big time. If we get Collins, it's not just about filling a need. It's about making a statement that the Cowboys are serious contenders, looking to maximize every edge on both sides of the ball. As we look ahead to the season, the expectations are sky high. The NFC East is no longer just about the Eagles or the Giants. The Cowboys are positioning themselves as serious Super Bowl contenders once again. The addition of Collins could be that piece that pushes us over the top, a hybrid linebacker who can do it all, a true game changer. And with the rest of our roster, including Dak Prescott leading the offense and Micah Parsons terrorizing quarterbacks, we're building a team that can compete with anyone. The next few weeks are going to be crucial, and all eyes are on this potential trade. If it happens, it's going to send shockwaves through the league, and Cowboys fans everywhere will be celebrating a bold move towards our ultimate goal, bringing the Lombardi Trophy back to Dallas. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So what do you guys think? Is Zaven Collins the missing link for us to finally get back to Super Bowl glory? Can he be the difference maker that elevates our defense and makes us a nightmare for any team we face? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop your comments below and tell me if you're as excited as I am about this potential move. We all know the Dallas Cowboys have a rich history of making bold decisions, and this one could be one of the biggest in recent years. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned and keep that Cowboy spirit alive. We're on the cusp of something special, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Until then, keep cheering, keep believing, and remember, the star is shining bright, and Dallas is coming back strong.